Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Weirdly O.C.D. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I'm sorry. I just had some things going on in my life, and YouTube just kind of taking a back seat for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm back, and we're going to be outside today. I am outside. I apologize if I look a little bit sweaty or unkempt, but I have been, it's a little bit after 5, and I have been outside since about 8:30 this morning. Our yard really needed a massive overhaul from winter, and I know it's almost the end of June, but with things going on, I just haven't had the time to dedicate an entire day to being outside taking care of the yard. But in today's video, I'm going to show you kind of what I did to the yard today, kind of tell you how it looked before, because unfortunately I did not take any before video. I wish I had, so you could see the difference. It is a pretty big difference, and there are more changes to come within hopefully the next couple of days, which I'll explain as well. But I just want to show you what I did to our yard today, so let's get started. The first thing I want to show you is the garage door. So it was just plain white before, which obviously it's plain white now, but it did not have these emblems on it, like these things here, or this handle. I got those at Menards yesterday, and if you're not familiar with what Menards is, it's a hardware store about the size of like Lowe's or Home Depot. It's, I believe, mostly in the northeastern of the United States. But for those spindle things, they're not spindles, but these little ornaments here on the side of the door, for those, and actually 2 of those handles came in the package, but my garage door is not wide enough to put 2 of these next to each other. But I thought these were kind of neat because they are magnetic. That way you don't have to drill holes into your garage door. You can remove them if you want. Now I've got to straighten it because it's just bothering me. There we go. They're magnetic, so you can take them off or whatever. You can adjust them. I kind of pretty much just went by the picture on the back of the package because I really wasn't sure how to arrange them, so this is what the package had as an example, so I used it. But I thought it kind of just gave the garage door a little better curb appeal, and it goes with our house numbers. Our house numbers are right above the garage door. I'm obviously not going to show them though, but they are also black as well, so it kind of ties into there. So this morning I started out with, I just came out and I edged along the driveway here, as you can see, down to the sidewalk, and I mowed the grass, which that looks a lot better. Not that it was super long anyway, but it did need done. And then I'm going to take you to the side of the house here. Here's the other side of the driveway. Looks really nice. I'm happy with it. So on this side of the house, it was a touch of a mess. There was a tree, not like a full-fledged tree like that back there, but it was past this window. I cut all that down. This bush here was really unkept and stuff, so I kind of narrowed that down. I've never edged or trimmed or cut bushes before in my life, so this was the first time. I did that one as well as this one. They were just kind of overhanging, especially this one here. It was actually coming out through the front of this little white fence, so I cut that back so that looks a little bit better. There was a big kind of plant type thing here I cut down. I do still need to rake up all the twigs and stuff from it. And then this over here, well, here's the stem or stump, I don't know what you want to call it, of that tree, so you can see how thick it was. But yeah, it went all the way probably to about mid of that window, so that's gone. That got cleaned up, as well as this concrete slab here This had a bunch of weeds and stuff in between it, and the cracks all along the house, between the concrete and the house, going up behind the gutter and everything. So I cleaned all that up, which is what's in that bag. But that bag's pretty heavy, so I'm just going to probably leave it there till trash day, which is in 2 days anyway, so that way I can just take it right out to the curb. I'm going to assume this slab is probably for the trash cans, but I don't keep them outside. I keep them in the garage. That way during winter you don't have to come out in the cold and the harsh weather just to throw some trash away. Plus that way they don't get snow piled on top of them or anything like that. But as you can see next door at the neighbors, that's kind of what they have too. They have the slab for their trash. Now we're going to go over to the other side of the house where I haven't done anything yet, and you can kind of see what I'm dealing with. Granted, the other side of the house is worse than this side was. This side maybe took me about 45 minutes to an hour from start to cutting down that tree, getting the concrete slab cleaned up, getting this plant taken out, and trimming these 2 bushes was probably about an hour. But let's go ahead and go over to the other side of the house, and I'll show you what I'm going to contend with over there, which I probably won't do till my next day off of work. The house. And you can see this goes up pretty high. The one on the other side of the house wasn't that big, but you get the gist of it. But I would like to take this whole plant out here. I'll keep this bush here. I'll probably keep this kind of bush thing here, but all this needs to go, especially since it's brushing up against the shutters and things like that. I don't want it to damage the shutters or do anything to the window seal or anything like that. This here, all these weeds here, I had a bunch of these weeds right here in particular all along the front of the house, in between the bushes and the flower area, even though I never had flowers in it, but they have little prickly things on them, so I've got to wear gloves when I cut them down and put them in the trash can, just because they do hurt. But all this needs to come down. This, I want to get rid of all this. Not that we go in and out of this gate here, but it just needs gone. It just looks ridiculous. So that's going to get taken care of within a week, maybe a little bit less. So now there you can see a little bit better view of exactly how high that goes up along the side of the house. But let me go show you the front. Alright, so here's the front of the house. There was a big, massive tree, bush, plant, I don't know what you want to call it. It was kind of like this one here, but it was here, and it was almost to the overhang of the house. But I cut that completely down. I need to pull the rest of the roots out. I got some of the roots out, but the rest of them need to come out because I don't want this thing coming back again at all. I'm just done with it. All this still needs cleaned up. I need to rake this up. And then here's the bushes in front of our house. As you can see, they're overgrowing over this brick paver here. And I need to trim these up. Honestly, I'd like to just get rid of them altogether, but that would be a pretty big undertaking. So, as you can see, there's those prickly things. As I said, they were coming up through the bushes. There's one. There's one there. There's one back there. Here's a few here that I hadn't gotten to yet. I mean, they were just everywhere. Through here, behind the bushes, all through here. I mean, it was bad. They were up against the porch here, between the gutter and the porch. There's our dog. I don't know if you could see her in the window. Oh, of course she would go away when I zoom the camera in on her. But here you can see where I took the edger and went along between the grass and there. So that doesn't look too bad. It needs to clean up just a little bit. But then, as you can see, sorry about the car noise again. I need to cut these bushes back here so I can get to the actual edging here to trim it. Sorry about my shadow. So I'll give you a little bit of a backstory on this house. So we purchased it from a younger gentleman who was a funeral director, and he only lived in this house for about a year. And then the reason of him selling it was because, from what we were told by his realtor, we never actually met the guy. He had gotten a chance to own his own funeral home in northern Tennessee. So of course he took the opportunity and pretty much just up and moved out. But from my understanding, he bought the house just a year prior from an older couple. And this older couple apparently had a lot of time on their hands because there are so many plants in our yard. I'm not a plant person, I'm not a gardener, I don't have a green thumb. Me personally, I say pour concrete so I don't have to deal with it, but that's not the situation that we have when we bought this house. So I'm going to show you the backyard so you can see exactly what I'm contending with back there, and I'll kind of tell you what my plan is for back there. So we're going to go into the backyard here. Here are all the plants along just one side of this fence here. I mean, look at this. It's just non-stop. Non-stop. And then we've got plants over here by our shed. We've got these plants, trees, whatever you want to call it here. We've got a couple over there in the back corner there. I just don't have a green thumb, and I just don't have the time to contend with this. And I'm sure if I knew what I was doing, it would look a lot better and more well manicured. But in all honesty, all these plants only bloom maybe 2 to 3 weeks out of the year, and then they die. And it looks like this. They look nice for about 2 weeks, they look absolutely beautiful, and then it goes to crap. Which is why I just want to get rid of them. So my plan over the next week or so, I've showed you what I did at the front yard. I showed you what I kind of want to do to the backyard. I just want to get rid of all this junk. I just want to get rid of it, plant some grass seed, have some normal grass. Also, here is our back deck. We've raked some leaves here that need to go out to the trash. And then our back deck, we've got sticks over here that need to be broken down and thrown away. And the deck needs to be swept. But that won't take very long. But I'm just ready to have like a pretty much maintenance-free yard. Besides mowing it, which I understand you need to do. Besides mowing it, I just don't want to have to do anything with it. Like I said, I don't have a green thumb. I'm not a gardening person. Gardening does not interest me whatsoever. I mean, granted, people who can do it can make absolutely beautiful landscapes and yards, and they're stunning to look at. And if you have a green thumb, God bless you. But I don't, Tony doesn't. I just don't have the talent for it, and honestly I don't have the patience for it. But I just wanted to put a video up to show you what my plan was for the yard. It's slowly coming together. I'm so glad that this is cleaned up here along the side of the house. I wish I would have taken before video of it, because you would have definitely noticed a drastic difference. But with that, that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one, where we will be doing a follow-up to what I've done to the backyard. But with that, I will see you next time, and have a great day. Bye-bye.